What's going on, everybody? We are back here in some more Legends. So, by the title of the video, I think it's apparent that I need to finally, uh, oh, finally bring out a video for this type of topic. But so, here are three new Moto games that have got announced and are releasing in the coming months and years. So, um, there's a couple of games I do want to talk about. So the first game, everybody knows that Milestone is coming out with a new Supercross game. Now there hasn't been a whole lot of information about this except for its announcement and its announcement trailer or something like that. If you guys have been following, I'm sure you guys have. But the milestone hasn't really made a moto game in the last couple of years, not since six. So there's a lot of speculation for the game about how it might be, how it's its whole new physics, new ruts, new terrain deformation, and everything like that. I just hope that they've been really I don't know how to say it. The one thing that they are doing with the game is that they're going to be projecting the 2025 season, which I think is actually kind of a W. And I'm actually kind of curious how they're going to do that because of legal rights and everything like that. But I think they're going to do a weekend basis thing, kind of like what uh, Rainbow and Legends did. Just kind of have a track get released every weekend or every week following the real life racing. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work, but I would kind of expect it to do that because I don't think they're going to release an entire game like that. That's just going to release the entire 17 tracks for the Supercross season, especially 2025. So all based on probably track maps and everything like that. So not sure how that's going to work, but it's going to work. But speaking of which, there's been a lot of speculation about this game, if it's gonna be any good, or if it's gonna be the same thing as Supercross 6, or if they took the time to actually work on their physics. Um, I just really hope this time around that Rolling has listened to the community in regards of Supercross 6. Because I told you guys before, if you guys seen my older video, that I did talk about my actual true thoughts about Supercross 6. I didn't like that game very much. Um, I didn't like how small scaling it was. I didn't like the entire uh, little berms inside. I mean, those little things are good every once in a while and everything, but to be quite honest, I would rather play Supercross 5 more than 6. Um, I do enjoy those games fairly often. But if I ever wanted to go back and put time into a Supercross game again, I would go back to Supercross 3. Everybody knows that that's probably the best game in the Supercross series from Milestone. So it really does show why. The game actually feels really good, and I've always have projected and always talked about that if they ever did do a game sort of like Supercross 3 and put in the terrain deformation from MXGP 3, I think they would have a decent game, especially if they actually worked on the game a little bit instead of just releasing the game and then just releasing an update, a small patch update or anything like that. But um, I just really hope that Milestone really gave into some of the community's feedback, and I actually do hope that they do a better job this time around, especially since they haven't had the rights for another Supercross game. They, as you guys know, they did do a couple of games. They did Hot Wheels and Monster Jam. Um, so that's kind of funny how that worked because the Rainbow actually had a license for Monster Jam, and now Milestone did, and then Rainbow had a license for a season of Supercross, and now they go back and they snagged the license for 2025. So it's kind of possible that this game, might do better, but I'm not gonna put my hopes too far up there for Supercross 2025. At least not yet. Um, I kind of want to know how the game will turn out and everything because I was kind of projected to buy Supercross 6 just to test it out, but it was almost a mistake getting that game because I don't enjoy that one very much. Not like in Supercross 4 days, but I do still quite enjoy Supercross 2, Supercross 3, and sort of 5. Um, but Supercross 6, I underestimated about how the game was good, and the more I played it, the more it became apparent to me that the game wasn't very good. Um, so my judgment there kind of went out of bounds there. So I think that's about it for that. So the next game, well, I kind of wanted to save it for last, but yeah, oh, okay, yeah. So the next game that's going to be coming out pretty soon. Um, well, here next year or so is Motocross the game. Um, I released a very small video talking about that. So if you guys don't know, ARL, if you guys saw that video, ARL is the Aerial Racing League, the official pro league racing league, esports league for MX bikes. And then Reaper Dog. Reaper Dog he's a notable player in the MX bikes community. He knows his way around and everything, and he got involved with this game. And I was actually looking around, and I dug a little bit of digging about how people felt about the devs making the game, and they were talking about they're all due to actually do right. Like they are some. I hear there's some gnarly dudes who are making this game. So I have my hopes up for that. Kind of. I'm not gonna get all schmooved. Say the game is going to be a simulator. It's going to be real life physics or anything like that because um, you don't know what's gonna it's you have to have some kind of marketing. But for a small team, it's not a AAA game or anything like that. That's where my that's where my judging and my whole thing about that game comes from is that this game is not marketing it to be like this incredible game or anything like that. Um, at least to me, because when you look at the game of the its real life physics or how people talk about it's going to revolutionize the gaming industry, it's not talking about it's going to be the next great gaming thing. I think motocross the game is going to pave the way for uh, revolutionizing simulators for consoles, and not just PC. That could go from American Truck Simulator or DCS, which I really heavily want to get involved with, especially DCS. You guys know I like my fighter pilot stuff, but um, and games like we already have games on consoles. You know, like Snow Tires or SnowRunner. If you guys are unaware of SnowRunner, SnowRunner is the sequel to Spin Tires and Mud Runner. And Mud Runner is the sequel to Spin Tires, the original, computer game. Spin Tires is the original Mud game, pretty much, where Snow Runner and Mud Runner came from, and expeditions and everything like that. Um, all of that, and the ability to have mods and everything like that. So I also have talked about this before that um, there's not a lot of legit RP servers for like games like Grand Theft Auto or something like that. Especially some heavy simulator RP servers. If when you're coming down from servers like DOJ or 5M or OCRP and stuff like that, um, it could really and have mods and everything like that. And games like Motocross the Game and everything like that could show and really pave the way for a lot of simulator games for console and not just PC and everything like that. So that's where my whole thing comes from with Motocross the Game. Like it could gravel a whole new a whole new generation for games. And I've always talked about it before that gaming is changing. All of the you can like your uh, your arcade games and everything like that, but the bottom line is that a lot of games are starting to come down to simulators and everything like that, like Xbox and everything. I recently just heard Arma Reforger is coming to console. Hell Let Loose have already came to console, and those are some popular, you know, Wilson games and everything. So it's good. It's apparent that gaming is changing, and people are starting to take note of that. You know, um, so that's going to be a big deal in the next, few years, especially for gaming and console players and everything like that. And the reason why I talk about that is, you know, I don't have I don't make a lot of money, and just being able having to go out and buy a computer just to play like a few games because of Steam, like that I'm spending 1,400 to 1,500 on a gaming laptop that I don't even need if it was on console. Um, don't get me wrong, I actually do have a Steam account. Like I used to have a laptop and everything, but um, it has come apparent to me that gaming is changing, and uh, games like that and console companies and everything like that need to start endorsing it. Um, Especially if they want to keep competing here in the next 5 to 10 years. So I think that's about it for that game. So the last game, I really didn't want to talk about it, but so last game, MXGP 24. We've all seen it. We've all seen it. Game looks terrible. I, as a lot of other people, I did see that a lot of people are comparing the game to Mud, which I think is a pretty funny comparison because Mud is Milestone's most worst moto game, like their first ever moto game, and it was terrible. But looking at MXGP 24 and looking at Mud, like that game makes Mud look good. Like Mud gives Mud puts that game to shame. If you actually want to ask me something like that, like honest, like Mud puts that game to shame. And a user has recently just like talked about, took the words right out of my mouth. Like it's like Milestone gave him the assets from Mud and the graphics from MXGP one and gave that to him and say, hey, here's something that you guys can start with. Uh, but uh, that I'm not so sure about that game. There's a couple of dudes who are endorsing that game. Like I'd say, not to. Um, I mean, yeah, it's a game, and they're new company and everything like that. But that's no excuse for how bad the game is. Like, we're talking about a company that has, that has experience in some of the best rally games on console. WRC. Um, so it's kind of weird, especially when they have a lot of experience in the motorsport scene. Um, well, with four wheels, but with two wheels, it's not very hard. Especially if they probably were given assets to use, um, which is a little concerning, to say the least. Um, but you know, I will cut them a little bit of slack. Um, for the case that this company is, fairly new to the whole genre. That's where I'll cut them the slack, but it's still no excuse for how bad the game is. Um, Especially if you're trying to like, sell it as a new game. It don't work like that. So um, I don't have much to say about that game. Um, I'm probably not gonna. Well, I'm not gonna get it unless they fix the game when it comes out. Um, in recent years, there has been a very bad influx of companies releasing these unfinished games. These terrible, buggy, unfinished games to meet deadlines or just to throw something out there and everything. Like you see it all in different kind of games. It's no secret, but uh, uh, unless they fix that game before it comes out or delay that game, I'm not touching it. That's the bottom line for that game. So there is an honorable mention. You guys know that I have talked about it before, but there has been rumors that Rainbow has been in the works of making another game. You guys know that I've talked about it in the past. Talked about that there was a dev who said that their next game is going to end all moto games, which are world claims. There hasn't been much information about it, but um, I think it's kind of apparent that 2024 is probably going to be the last year for updates. We just got the Reflex update, which I actually do really like. Um, but I did see somebody talk about the fact that they should have released more than just DLC tracks because Scrapyard, Boxcar, Train Yard, Boxcar are the DLC tracks in there, and Fort Dodge 2, um, which is probably one of the more popular tracks from Reflex, and Fort Dodge 3, a completely brand new track, which I actually did enjoy. But that was about it. The To be honest, I know a lot of people do like Fort Dodge Run too, just for the fact of the track going up into the stadiums and all of that. Um, but one of my more favorite tracks from that game is actually Stone Point Run too. I actually do enjoy that track quite much over the other tracks. To me, it just has it had a lot more interesting line selections, a lot more jumps, a lot more, just a lot more interesting than most of the other tracks, and everything like that. So I think that's about it around this time for this video. Um, you guys will notice that I haven't put a new, or I haven't put an intro. I'm actually gonna have to start working on one since Halloween's over and everything like that. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try to do something for Christmas or something like that. So trying to get the festivities on the channel. So uh, and as for um the Ghost Recon series, I'm gonna take a break from that for a little bit. Um, all those videos that I have released were just back to back, just me editing them, and putting them out like back to back. So uh, it took longer than I expected. Uh, that was just gameplay from the last month I've done, and I just been trying to push them out. But other than that, I've actually been having more of a decent break. Um, just trying to get back in the groove or anything like that. Just so I don't have to have the, the intricacies or the stresses of uploading videos and everything like that. So this is the first video that I will upload present day or something like that. So the same night it gets updated or uploaded or something like that. It's just been really cold. I've been dealing with um this weird cold. I could call it a cold or something like that, but ever since my last illness or something like that, I've been having this weird thing going on with my nose. I just haven't been able to clear it up and everything. Um, it's probably from the fact that since I've stopped smoking and everything, things have just been all wacky and everything like that. So it's just been a lot of different things and things like that. So and of course, there's always still things outside of YouTube that I have to take care of and everything like that. So um, I think that's about it for this video. I probably think it's a little bit more longer than I've actually wanted it to be. I did talk about that. I was gonna try to slow down on these commentary videos and everything. And just trying to work on trying to get some actual raw gameplay back on the channel. There's actually quite a few videos that I've recorded that I'm probably not gonna upload. I don't know why. I just haven't been. I don't know. I've just been doing a lot of these uh, talk videos and everything like that, but I haven't really had the desire to edit and upload them for some reason. I don't know why. Just I'm not sure. Um, just dealing. I've also been dealing with a lot of I'd say tryhard players or griefers or something like that. Um, if you've always watched the video, you know who you are. If you guys are on the channel, or if you guys know, if you guys know who I am or something like that, if you guys watch the channel, but I've had a couple of weird interactions with a couple of people recently, and it wasn't cool. So I got that out of the way. So I think this is about it for this video. If you like this type of content, give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See you.